right out in front here. The stakes and the stages get a little bit bigger and bigger for you, and you got to come through and get a big stoppage today. What was tonight like for you?
Unbelievable. Look, I'm a happy man. People have watched me past 2 fights have been very harsh on myself. This one I can go back and just be happy. So yeah, look, started off Qatar. First time the UFC had been Qatar in my first fight. Second one, co-main in my second fight, which is, I don't know if that's ever been done. Yeah, so, and now the third fight onto a McGregor undercard. It's a pretty big first 3 fights. So yeah, it's been a crazy ride, and it's mad because it's only chapter 1 in the book, which is crazy.
Why are you so hard on yourself? Like, I know fighters are your own worst critics a lot of times, but some are more critical than others. Why, especially with the wins and...
No, what it is with fighters, I feel like there's a very, very thin line between confidence and sort of delusion. And there's fighters who are very delusional. I'm not one of them. I know what needs to be done. I know if I want to win the belt in this division, I know what I need to do. So, yeah, I'm not delusional about myself. So, yeah, when I show a bad performance, I'll call myself out on it. I'm my own worst critic, and that's going to pay off in the end.
Joe Rogan said on the broadcast he did not like the stoppage, and other fighters have also come out and said they didn't like the stoppage. They thought it was early. Matt Frivola in particular was like, let him go on the shield. So I mean, you were in there with them. Personally, I didn't have an issue with the stoppage. Yeah. After that right hand, I was like, all right, I think it's a wrap. But a lot of other people have an issue. What is your reaction to them, and what did you feel in there to justify the stoppage to you?
Yeah, they fucking lost their minds. Honestly, 2 more seconds, he would have been face down on the canvas, honestly. Yeah, that's baffled me a bit, that one, but I don't even know what to say to that. If you think that was sort of an early stoppage, then I feel like you shouldn't be watching fighting, but it is what it is.
I believe England scored the winning goal while you were fighting. Were you aware of this? And
look, I'm not the biggest footy fan, but look, I do support the lads coming from sort of similar backgrounds to me, working class. So yeah, obviously I want them to win. Made up the one at, yeah, I'm happy.
Congratulations.
Hey, Luke, over here in the center. Really impressive win. That was actually Kai's first knockout loss since like 2020. I know you expected to win, but were you surprised you finished that quickly?
No, because I know, honestly, even now, people have underestimated my power very, very much. Like, don't understand how hard. I know for a fact I am the hardest hitting person in this division. 1,000,000%. So, look, my last fight, it was maybe the co-main played into that fact that I went in a bit too tense, too stiff. This time I just came in loose, was in the moment, and knew if I touch someone on the chin, it's, like I said in the cage, it's bedtime. And, yeah, that's all she wrote.
Looked like you came out relatively unscathed. When do you want to get back in there?
Yeah, towards the end of the... I'm in no rush. I'm still young, so end of the year is good for me.
And you got a really big win in your last fight. Obviously, Mike had a really good record. And then Kai, you finished him in the first round. Like, what type of opponent do you think you'll be getting next? Or I know you'll fight anyone, but do you have any preference in who you want to go in there with next?
Again, no one's name's on my tongue. So whoever the promotion feels best for me or it's going to be the best test, yeah, happily.
How come you and Paddy have different thoughts when it comes to talking about the English national team?
Look, I don't know. Look, he's a lot bigger footy fan. Politics, and I feel like, yeah, there's all politics, this, that. I don't really want to go into it, so I'll just stick to the fight. And I feel like politics, fighting shouldn't mix. That's with a lot of things. It's like the Biggie lyric. What is it? Money and blood don't mix, like 2 dicks and no chick. Find yourself in some serious shit. That's what it is with fighting. Fighting should stay fighting. Anything else outside that topic, I'm not interested in mixing.
Fair enough. And I know you were very adamant to being on this card since your last fight. You basically called for a spot on International Fight Week with Paddy. So now that you got the experience here in Las Vegas and everything, would you want to continue to be on these type of cards, or do you miss that, loud pop you get back in England? And
no, yeah, I want to be on these big pay-per-view cards. If you follow my career from sort of the Cage Warriors days, I've had a lot of sort of visa issues, so I'm happy to be in. Look, I'm lucky, happy to be here right now. So I want to stay here definitely and fight on these big pay-per-view cards, which I'm sure I will do.
Hey, Luke, over here. I'm wondering, the last fight being the co-main event, what was your reaction? Obviously, it was a story, right? You know, over Michael
My last
Venom
fight,
Page.
sorry. My last fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being the co-main over Michael Venom Page, there was a lot of topic about it. So what was your reaction when they said you're on international, but obviously you're quite a few ways down? What was the reaction?
No, that's exactly what I expected from my last performance. I knew I'd be on a big card, but I knew I'd be a bit lower down, and I feel like the next one I'm going to be back up, I'm guessing.
I was going to say, was there less pressure because there's probably a lot less media attention? Obviously, there are a lot of pieces to go around. Was it a little bit easier to just focus on the task at hand this week?
No, what it was when we last fight, I feel like everyone's so we had the co-main, but there was just no nerves going in. There was no feelings. I was a bit numb, and yeah, I don't know what it was this time. I just felt like a beast, man. Honestly, I felt like an animal going into that cage tonight. Loose, sharp, just in the moment, just seeing everything coming towards me, honestly.
As a fellow guy from Liverpool, what is that energy going to be like out there in the co-main event when Paddy gets out there? And what do you think you're going to share with the fans as they have that big fight?
Yeah, look, it's going to be bouncing the gaff. It's the T-Mobile alert. It's going to be absolutely rocking, honestly. It's hard to get them going, look. That's why I've done that. I always show props. I'm loyal. I know people who have led the way for me. Paddy's been like a big brother to me. Without him, I wouldn't be sat here now in the cage then. So yeah, I always show me props to someone who's led the way for me.
Thank you.
Hey, Luke, great job and a great win over a game opponent. I got to ask, I know people familiar with your fights know that you'll take a little bit early to read and make your reads, and then you get your attacks and get your opponents out of there usually. So perhaps it's not a big deal to you, but Kai was landing some leg kicks early. Would those even have any effect at all, or were you just kind of measuring and getting your reads at that point?
It's one of them. You don't feel them in the fight, but I'm not going to lie, yeah, I'm feeling them calf kicks a bit now. I'm made up. I didn't have to go and sit back down on the stool.
Well, I'm sure it'll be worth it in your eyes. And again, a fantastic performance. And regardless of anybody's opinion of the stoppage, you're in there. You obviously know your power. And I think we can all agree it looked like a formality. But I got to ask, you obviously hurt him to the head, and that's what people are seeing. But it also looked like you hurt him to the body. What did you feel in there? Did you feel like you hurt him to the head and body, and you were just going for the kill?
Yeah, look, he was just a wounded animal trying to stay alive, and he was going to be put down if the ref didn't stop the fight. So yeah, the ref done a very, very good job, or he would have been down, out, face down on the canvas, which wouldn't have been a good look, would it?
Brilliant. Thank you, Luke.